Dominic Raab, as we've just discussed, facing a much broader bullying investigation than previously indicated. The Guardian newspaper coming up this story earlier. At least 24 civil servants being reported to have made formal complaints against him, which government insiders believe shows the depth of the inquiry and indeed the severity of some of the claims, meaning the Deputy Prime Minister will struggle perhaps to survive. And of course, amid the Zahawi investigation, also throwing perhaps further doubt on Rishi Sunak's judgment for having kept him in such a senior position. Joining us in the studio now, political reporter Katherine Forster. It keeps piling up for the Prime Minister as he's trying to get things back on track at Chequers.
More bad news for Rishi Sunak today. When they came in after Liz Truss, Michael Gove said boring is back and they wanted to make government as dull as possible. And it's not really working out because there's all the policies that they're trying to get across. Meanwhile, day after day
it's personality,
day,
isn't it?
Their headlines are bad behaviour of ministers in government. So this Guardian story today, we knew that there were 8 formal investigations against the Deputy Prime Minister and Justice Secretary Dominic Raab. But it now turns out that although there are 8, there are at least 24 people involved and maybe even over 30, because some of these have been sort of joint submissions, if you like.
And over a period of time at different departments in different areas.
Different departments. So 6 from when he was Ministry of Justice, department staff from his private office, 1 from when he was Foreign Secretary, 1 from when he was Brexit Secretary, and details of staff apparently being so traumatised by working with him that they were vomiting before meetings, that they were having professional help, that they were regularly crying. Apparently more than one contemplated taking their own life. I mean, really quite shocking. And also it said that the Prime Minister read some of these written submissions.
Now that's a key, isn't it?
Personally.
What did he know about it before it was handed over to this independent investigation?
So he had read some of these. We don't know exactly
how many,
but before he appointed Adam KC, back in December to investigate this, and he has sat down with all of these people and had very lengthy discussions. So it's really not looking good for Dominic Raab, who, it should be said, is adamant that he's always behaved professionally. His team say, yes, he's a hard taskmaster. Yes, he has high standards, exacting
which he expects people to adhere to.
But that he's always behaved properly. But it certainly isn't a good look. And now there's some speculation, because, of course, there's this investigation, there's the Zahawi investigation, which is grabbing all the headlines, and Rishi Sunak would like these to conclude quickly.
Well, I was going to ask you, what are we learning about the timing? Because the suggestions now that the Zahawi investigation could conclude by the end of next week, some 10 days taking perhaps. This Raab one's been going on for some time. And as you say, Adam Tolley, a KC, perhaps going through in forensic detail. Any indication when that could happen? Because, I mean, if the two collide, you know, that's going to hold the government under the waterline, isn't it?
Well, there were some suggestions that the Prime Minister would like them both to report together, so he could sack them both together, have a mini reshuffle and move on. I should say Downing Street denying that completely, and they're both completely separate, so it probably isn't possible to sort of jig when they come out. But certainly Zahawi, 10 days, we're hearing, up to possibly 3 weeks, but they're very keen to get it dealt with because the Prime Minister's reportedly very, very cross now that basically they've been made to look very bad.
And can I just put to you what Lord Barwell has said? I mean, he's former Chief of Staff, of course, to Theresa May, saying that the lack of public defence, i.e. nothing particularly said in public, suggests that Zahawi is in jeopardy. And certainly our MPs here in the studio yesterday noticed that at PMQs he referred to him as the Minister without portfolio, not my honourable friend or right honourable friend.
It would seem an awful lot of people within the Conservative Party think that it is a matter of when, not if he goes. Obviously, if he is found to be in breach by the ethics advisor, it's up to Rishi Sunak. Now, Boris Johnson was given advice by a previous ethics advisor to get rid of Priti Patel for bullying and didn't act. I think it's inconceivable that Rishi Sunak would be advised to get rid of Zahawi or Raab and not act.
But it's still within the prime ministerial gift as to what happens after the inquiry findings.
Yes.
They don't actually recommend the action to take.
Yes, but they will recommend the action, and then it's Rishi Sunak's decision. But I mean, Rishi Sunak's saying he could have just sacked him and made it go away, but he wants to be seen to follow the proper procedures. But certainly they want this resolved, because we're not talking about anything else that the government's trying to do, and it's a really terrible look
much as we try.
into Labour's hands. Exactly.
Catherine, thank you very much indeed.